Welcome to the Parent Pathways podcast from Trinity Episcopal School in Richmond, Virginia. In each short podcast, a faculty or staff member will answer parents' most asked questions, tell you a little bit about themselves, and share what they love about being a part of the Trinity Community. I'm your host, Betsy Reid. It's our first Parent Pathways podcast of the school year, 2023-2024, and I thought we would sit down and talk about the beginning of the year. I'm here with the head of school, Rob Short, and we are kicking off the school year. Rob, I want to ask, how was your summer?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be the first guest.
Yes.
I wasn't asked at all last year, but I was so excited that it was kicked off and we were doing podcasts for the parents and the external community too. And also, I don't know what it was about this summer in particular, but really excited to come back. I was talking to a few kids in morning meeting even, and summer to me felt long.
Right.
I don't know that ever in my career I've felt that way about summer. Not in a drudgery way, it was amazing, but I was really excited to see the kids and colleagues come back. And I think more than that, maybe we'll get to it later in this podcast, but we have a new strategic plan we're rolling out.
Yes.
And educators get excited about that, especially educators at Trinity, because we're able to do a lot of things that larger schools can't do very quickly. And I'm really proud of that. And it's fun. And you're always doing the right thing for the kids. But back to your original question, I'm a teacher at heart. So just being able to see the kids, that's the most exciting thing for me coming back. And the way they've grown over summer, and just wondering what are those gifts, what are those discoveries that they're going to make in the new year. There's a lot of magic to that at Trinity.
So much potential as we start the year for sure.
Yep.
So talk to us more about the strategic plan. This is a new plan that's taking us through the next 5 years. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and where we're going with it?
Sure. So strategic planning is a process that we all use in schools to be sure that we are creating the framework, the spaces, the times, the resources to create a life of meaning and purpose for kids, and that we're giving them the skills that they need too for the future. And for many years, a lot of my career, it didn't change much. It was about people, it was about spaces, it was about, finances and things like that. But this particular strategic plan is different. There's just been a watershed moment. And if you've been on the news for even 5 minutes over the last 6 months, you've probably seen it. There's a whole revolution going on in education of artificial intelligence and technology. There are real challenges that are present in our culture with things like fake news and being able to tell what a fact is versus fiction. To educators, that's a little bit of a challenge, but mostly it's just a nice opportunity for us. I get excited about that as a lifelong teacher and learner, being able to figure out how we're going to architect education for the next 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years, and ride off that so that kids develop the skills they need is really exciting. And we've got the people to do it, and the students are eager learners, and it's a fun process. Sometimes a strategic plan can be a little dry, but this one isn't dry. It's exciting.
What are some of the important components of our strategic plan?
So it's got a lot of different facets. The two that I'll cover maybe in this podcast, maybe we'll save some for others, and we'll roll it out in October. So mark your calendars. The ones I'm most excited about, I think, is the future of teaching and learning, first of all, because once again, I'm a teacher at heart. So knowing how people learn in the modern era, what skills they need, and how to direct them towards a life of meaning and purpose is just so important. And there's a lot in the strategic plan on that, and a lot of opportunities coming up. And then the second one I would say probably deals with our parents. Parent Pathways has taken off last year. You're a big part of it, Betsy, and thank you for spearheading it.
Sure.
Our TPA is great. And if you're a new parent out there watching or listening, please get involved. This is a place that is holistic. To have grandparents on campus is great. Parents on campus is great. We love the people element here. And Parent Pathways is that kind of piece that we're looking at to help guide parents, support parents in a modern age where living as a kid is different than
Mhm.
when our parents were kids. And we can help in that process, and also together, the opportunities that are presented are going to be great for the students.
We have a lot to look forward to this year. I have to say, we just had a fantastic lunch. The TPA brought the teachers
They
lunch,
did.
and just enjoy having parents on campus doing different events. Just a fun question here at the end, Rob. What is parents have been just sort of long been such an important part of our community. What's your favorite event where you get to sort of mix and mingle with everyone in our community, not just students and teachers?
There's a lot, and one's a little bit odd, and I'll just reveal a little bit about my personality in that. But first of all, homecoming is
Hmm.
wonderful because you get to see parents from the past come back, parents from the present, get to see new parents experience homecoming. You get to meet their dogs. You get to meet their, their youngest child who's 5 years old. You get to know a lot more about people, and you
Hmm.
get to understand families better. I love that. The other one, because I'm not a cocktail person, so it kind of goes against my grain, but the oyster roast is really
That's
wonderful.
right.
It's a fall event. It's beautiful. It's outside, and I tend to, spend a lot of time with a few people versus a little time with a lot of
Right.
people, and I think that's a really nice night to develop relationships and get to know people. And once again, there too, you have people coming back from years ago and just renewing those bonds and reliving old stories and having a few moments where you can laugh and celebrate. It is really magical. Our courtyard is a place that ties us all together, and that oyster roast is a good example of that. In the morning, it's the kids that are being tied together. And for the oyster roast, it's the parents and colleagues and teachers. It's really a nice event.
All right, you've heard it here from our head of school. Homecoming, you've got to be there the first weekend in October. Rob, thank you so much for sitting down with me today on the podcast,
Well,
and appreciate your thoughts. Thank you.
thank you for inviting me, and welcome new parents. It's great to have you here. Looking forward to the year ahead,
All right,
everybody.
thanks.